Is there anything you don't want me to say? Like, no swear words or?
No, anything is everything. So
like I can say whatever the fuck. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, she's wrong.
So welcome back to the Still Becoming podcast. I have my guest Zaira here with me, 19-year-old creative genius queen. I almost said atheist, but I meant to say activist. But
atheist or whatever. I put that on like my LinkedIn.
My little
atheist.
My little creative genius queen atheist, you know. What an intro. What an intro. But me and Zaira go way back. 3 years way back. And me and my friends, Liv and Jenny, we made a club at our college called Community of Creators. And it's a very dumb name, I feel like. I was like, this is a dumb name. I don't really like it. But it was an acronym for COC, Community of Creators. And we thought that was like, you know, little like fun things. So we're like, welcome to COC, you know. But so yeah, so Community of Creators Club, it wasn't a very long-lived club. I think we had like maybe 3 meetings the whole like semester, and Zaira made it to one of them.
Yeah. Period.
But period. That's all we need. No, but when you came in, you like talked about, you're like, yeah, I've, you know, written, produced, and, you know, filmed like a movie. And you're like, what, 17 at the time? And like, yeah. I was like very like blown away. And movies have always been like an interest to me. And so I think like meeting you, it's like opened my eyes with like movies and films and like analyzing them a little bit more and seeing like the deeper meaning for them, like the Florida Project. I remember like we talked about that one. Such a beautiful movie.
Beautiful movie. I've watched it so many times. If you like, it's such a slow-paced movie, but that's the point of it. Yeah. It's not like something like super dramatic isn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to show you what life is like in Florida if you're a kid at that time. It's like through her eyes. Yeah. The little kid's eyes. Genius. Yeah. No, it's literally my favorite movie ever. I tell everybody I meet to watch it. And I understand why some people don't like it, because it's not everyone's movie or type of movie. But it tells a beautiful story. That's just life. Like there's no like climax or like this is it and then this is the like ending, because the way it ends is like, what the fuck, you know, like, but yeah, you're like it's like, this is go back weird. A little bit. No, yeah, but I think so it's just Zaira has brought like this very like new appreciation for movies for me, and she's also made 2 movies before the age of 19. Crazy little fool. So yeah, tell us about All the Things I Can't Say, because that was the first movie I ever watched and the first movie that you've ever like put out, like, right. So I started writing All the Things We Can't Say just off on a limb. I was like, yeah, I wrote it about my 7th grade crush, and what about it? Shout out to him because he knows who he is. But I wrote it about him at first, and then I saw Call Me By Your Name. And I know it's a little controversial now, but when I watched Call Me By Your Name, I had like self-realization, and I had to take a week break from everything and just kind of like think to myself. So I was like, okay, I want a movie to make me feel the same way as Call Me By Your Name did, or like I want to be able to create something like that. So All the Things We Can't Say is kind of like a mix of my life and just kind of the different aspects of Call Me By Your Name, or the different movies that I started watching then. I think I watched Lady Bird too, and it was part of it. There was just a lot of movies that were embedded in it too. Yeah. So like, it's not really a spoiler, but in All the Things We Can't Say, she's always talking about Italy. It's kind of like oh, she's also like talking about Italy because Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah. Or like how in Lady Bird, she's always talking about, you know, moving away to a different city, a different state, you know, to get away from, to
get away from like your small town or whatever. And in Lady Bird, she's talking about how she wants to escape Sacramento, and she's like, I was like, okay, me too, Miss Girl. I want to escape, and now I'm back here. But but I think that's the point of it, because also, not a spoiler, but like in Lady Bird, she's talking about, okay, when you leave, you think about your town again. You're like, now hold up, I hate this place, but I'm feeling a little sad. Feeling nostalgic. So that's kind of how I incorporated it into All the Things We Can't Say too. And then after that, I actually I made Callum right after that. I totally forgot about that. Callum,
oh my god, yeah.
I forgot about it too.
3 movies. Oh my god, plot twist.
So you can still watch All the Things We Can't Say on YouTube. It's still there. But Callum is one of the characters off of All the Things We Can't Say, and something drastic happens at the end. And it's just kind of like a 5-minute, I don't want to say sequel because it's not really a sequel. It's just like an update on like where his life is and their other friend Lilia in the film. So, I mean, there's that. And then here's the thing with I'm Sorry, Elliot. I filmed it a year and a half ago, and I've edited it twice, finished it, and then deleted it twice.
Oh my gosh. But sometimes that's what it takes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I could think of a lot of different directors or even like writers that have, you know, written a whole book or, you know, created this whole like script or idea and then just like scratched it, you know, like, and it's
and it's like, it's so weird because I'm still working on it, and I feel bad for the cast too, because they're always like, so like, when is this bitch gonna be done? And I'm like, oh, I'm so stressed. I don't know. Because like, I'm also a really big perfectionist. I can see the flaws in the film before anyone else has anything to say. You saw something wrong with it? I did too. I know. Things that you didn't notice, I noticed. It's hard because I'm Sorry, Elliot. I love it. I love the script that I made for it. It's just difficult because I filmed it a year and a half ago. So when I look at it, I'm like, why did I film it like this? Why did I do a close-up on her? Why am I shaky? Why is this film shaky? Why is the audio bad? So it's just a matter of me trying to edit it. But I'm Sorry, Elliot is like a psychological thriller, and it's like a new phase in what I love in films, because I saw Hereditary. Holy shit. Hereditary? Oh, hold up.
Okay, holding.
My best friend gave me this for my birthday. Yeah, holy shit.
Stop.
This shit, I'm not kidding when I say I love Hereditary. I love Ari Aster. But look at this shit.
Oh my god. No, I literally saw like what they have, like they had like Midsummer, Hereditary,
like The Witch.
I think it was The Witch. But I was like, oh my god, I want one. Like, oh my god, but that is, I might have to borrow that from you.
Oh yeah. It's so, Hereditary is so good because it's not, once again, there's like not really a spoiler, but the whole feeling throughout the movie, you're not necessarily scared, you're uncomfortable. And that's, I guess, what plays into like the fear factor of it. And I was like, this is great. A movie without like jump scares or just like unnecessary like loud audio or things that pop out of nowhere and has nothing to do with the plot. Whereas Hereditary and Midsummer too, it's all about making you uncomfortable. And I like, it's great. Also family drama. I love family drama. Hereditary has it. Hereditary has like psychological thriller and a family drama. It's great. Like that's why I made I'm Sorry Elliot too, because I was like, Ari Aster is so good.
Oh, but that's what me and my dad always recognize about films, because with Hereditary or Us is a very good example, I feel like, too, or Get Out even. It's not, I mean, Get Out had a couple like jump scares, but like it has you on the edge of your seat where you're like, I actually don't know what's gonna happen. Whereas in like a horror movie, you're like, I can like kind of see what's going on here. But I love like Hereditary, Midsummer. They keep you on the edge of like, what the fuck, and like it's just like, you know, everything's going on.
Yeah, it is so good. Ari Aster is known for like making his movies more eerie and uncomfortable, and then Jordan Peele's a great director and scriptwriter. The thing about, when it's a Jordan Peele movie, when it's like there's some comedic aspect to it to like kind of ease the tension a little bit. Also, there's always deeper meaning in his movies. I really liked Us, because I was watching a film analysis video, and her doppelganger, I think her name is Red. She's like the leader of everyone. But the reason that she's none of them can speak, she's the only one that can speak. It's like in commemoration or something for like the Black Lives Matter movement, because their voices were taken away and there was only one person that could speak for everyone, and it was her. So she's like a representation of the rebellion. And I was like, this is genius. So good.
I know. I literally, there was a period of time that I literally only watched Us for like 2 weeks straight. And like I would look up like different, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Because literally every single thing had a meaning in that movie. And I was like, my brain was like exploding. So I was like, I fucking love this. Like, I love when there's like hidden meanings in movies and you find them out and you feel like the most powerful person, because you're like, did you see that? You know what that means? Like, like
oh my god, yeah, I feel like such a dork when I'm watching it with my friends and I'm like, guys, do you know why that happened? Because like they already like kind of foreshadowed it in the beginning, and they're like, the fuck?
That's me. That's me. Literally, like I had my friends come over for my birthday one time, and I was like, I think you were there, Joker.
No, I was there.
We watched Joker, and I was like, guys, you need to pay attention. And like everyone was like talking, and I was so mad because I was like, literally watch the movie. Like, and most of them haven't even seen it before. And I was like, guys, look. And then like at the ending, because like there's so many conspiracy theories of what the ending means. I was like, I turned it off. I was like, so what do you guys think? Because you left early, but like I was like, what do you guys think the ending means? And they're like, I don't know, Abby. And I was like, well, do you think he's actually Joker, or do you think he's like imagining it and like he thinks that he's a Joker? And like, and everyone's just like, Abby, like, what the fuck? And it's like this ongoing thing with my friends.
I know exactly what you mean. Or like, if I'm talking to a man and then we watch a movie or whatever and we get done with the movie, I'm like, so what do you think? And they're like, I thought it was a good movie. I'm like, okay, but like, did you see blah, blah, blah? And they're like, and I'm like,
oh my god, I watched Donnie Darko. Have you seen that movie?
I've seen part of it. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I think I was doing something.
Oh my god. Okay, literally one of my most favorite psychological thrillers. Also, Jake Gyllenhaal could get it. And
100%.
Love that man. But I watched it with my boyfriend Cody, and I was so quiet like throughout the whole movie, because I was like, I'm gonna like, we first started dating. It was like when we were first starting dating. I'm like, I'm not gonna freak him out with like my movie analytics, like, like I was like, we're gonna watch the movie and then we'll talk about it after. And so like the ending happens, and I won't spoil it since you haven't seen it yet, but I was like, so did you get that? Like, and he was like, I mean, kind of. And he was like, it was a good movie though. And I was like, yeah, but like think about it. Like, what if this actually happens? And like, what if this is like really going on in our world? And he was like, Abby, like looking at me like I'm like this crazy person. And I'm like, no, but like for real, like what if this is like really happening? And like, you know, we're just like all these little, like, I don't want to spoil it, but like I was just
I know what you mean though. Yeah. Just like the thing with us too, because like we love film producing. So you analyze everything or how something is filmed, or like what was your purpose and like putting this in that shot, like why would you put that there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all these theories are popping in my head, and I don't want to sound crazy to the person next to me.
I know.
Like, so like y'all catch that?
Yeah.
Y'all catch that?
The biggest thing too, like I'll be watching movies, like we'll have like a girls' night, and like we'll watch a movie, and I'm like, oh, this is a really nice shot. Like this is really, like they did a really good job with this cameraman, like shit, you know, or cinematography. And my friends are like, one of my friends was like, I wish I could appreciate movies like you do, Abby, because like you be picking out everything. Cause like they're like, who says that? Who says this is great cinematography? Like, you know, like I'm like,
I know. I'm like, it's really pretty. I think my friend group too, because I say it a lot too. So now everyone's like, I do like the colors. Like,
yeah,
cinematography is good. And I was like, did y'all just say cinematography? I get analyzing film. It's so fun. Sometimes it slightly ruins movies for me that I analyze it so much. And I don't know why I'd be analyzing Oscar-nominated films. I'm like, that was kind of a bad shot. And I'm like, who am I? Not Oscar-nominated. I'm like,
apply for Rotten Tomatoes.
Composition is off. Why is the cutting like that? I don't think that was smooth. I'm like,
no.
But yeah, analyzing films, my favorite pastime.
The movies that like make me have the most anxiety though, and the ones I have the most appreciation for are Safdie brother films. Good Time, Uncut Gems. Like when I'm like, okay, I feel like I have no control in my life. Time to go watch a Safdie brother film and like feel better about myself, because like literally all their characters are just like just out there. Just
I get what you mean. Like, oh wait, kind of off topic. What's your comfort film?
What?
What's your comfort film? Like a movie that you watch.
Film. My comfort film. I would. So bad.
Like Phineas and Ferb the movie.
The Lorax? I don't know.
Here I am thinking that it's gonna be like, oh, Little Women, or like The Notebook. The Lorax. Actually, no.
I've literally been watching that movie to help me go to sleep for the last like 3 weeks. I don't know what's wrong with me, bro. I don't know.
Have you seen? It's on Netflix. Have you seen Invader Zim, like Into the Florpus?
No. Invaders into the Florpus? What the fuck?
I don't know why. My nephew put it on the TV, and I was just like, you know, my phone died, and I was just watching it with him, and I was like, so like, why am I kind of vibing to this movie? And so I had to leave early, and I went back home and I finished it, and then I watched it again.
Bro, okay, this is also off topic, but I love how the song that you picked is "Normal Girl" by SZA, because this conversation, this podcast is nothing normal.
No, listen, Invaders.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, not a movie, but a show. I feel like I maybe talked about it to you. Have you seen The Midnight Gospel? Holy
yes.
shit!
Yes.
I've watched it so many times.
Yeah.
It is so good.
No, it is.
It's the same.
And the conversations in it are just amazing.
And what's your favorite episode?
I really like the last episode with his mom, but I also really like the one where he talks with death.
Yes.
Those are like my two like top favorite ones that I could literally watch like again and again. But no, like I just, me and my boyfriend would like Netflix party it, and like we would go to sleep to it, but it's like also just like a really good show to just like watch and like listen to conversation. But I feel like if you can't get over like the weird graphics and like pay attention to the words, it's like, because like I've showed some of my friends and they're like, what is this? Like, this is not it. And I'm like,
no, appreciate the art.
Yeah, like appreciate it.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, like the producers or like the people who created it, they were like, well, we wanted to make it feel like you were on an acid trip while we were, recording a podcast. I was like, phenomenal. Thank you. They're also the same people who made Adventure Time. So
oh really?
Yeah, and I didn't know that. So I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like everything about it, there's so much that they go into depth about it. It's just like enlightenment and just like living your life to the fullest and meditation and talking about how drugs aren't bad, but like the way that people handle it is. And I was like, I mean, like, if you were just someone who saw it on Netflix, you'd just be like, well, this is for, like, people who do shrooms. Which, like, granted, probably, but the conversations within it are so good. Same thing, like...
It's just, like, a nice podcast with graphics, really. Right. Like, and that's, like, pretty much what it is anyways, but...
Yeah. It's just so good. It's so much more than just like the animation. It's the conversations that are being had. So I was like, I gotta show this to everyone.
I know.
And sometimes people are like, that was cool. And I'll be like,
what was cool about it?
like, what was cool?
Yeah.
Oh, like the thing. I had a guy tell me that once. He was like, oh, the thing. And I was like,
you're like,
what thing? Just like shows, movies. Everything, because it's just so cool. Like, why wouldn't you want to, like, I don't know, talk about it more? But then again, if I was like, some people like to analyze paintings, and I'm like, well, cubism, cool.
That's true. That's true, because it's like, I don't know, I always expect like everybody to just be like in on movies as much as I am, but that is not the case.
No, seriously, like my college roommate, she's an art history major. So she took a bunch of art history classes, and then she'd show me stuff. She's like, this is cool. And I'm like, Pablo Picasso, I don't understand him. But it is cool. She probably feels the same way like that I do when I show people movies or shows. I'm like, so what'd you think? But she's like, the cubism in this is just great. And I'm like, what?
The cinematography in this is just great. And they're
like, what did you just say? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't. Okay, never mind.
I feel like I'd always like apologize for it, but it's like, it's something that I'm passionate about. And like, I love like watching, analyzing, depicting movies. And it's not something that I should be ashamed of, like it's cool to like have that kind of mindset with movies, because I recognizably like not everybody has that mindset watching movies, and like and it's, I mean, it also goes the other way. Like, I really could care less about action movies. Like,
period, me too.
Like, when somebody that I know and like care about wants to watch is like an action movie, I'm like, we could be watching, like not that. Like, the action movie is like good time or Uncut Gems. Like, those are action movies for me. And I'm like,
no, I feel it. Yeah, the movies that I've watched with some people, this guy that I was talking to showed me the movie Extinction, and I was like, okay, like vibey, but like not my first pick. So I was like, oh, this is really good. Do you want to watch Lady Bird? But also going back to what you were saying about like not apologizing for stuff, that is something that I have been trying to get used to, just in general, just about like not even just about films or just like when I'm talking, but in general, because I've been really into meditation and like spirituality and all that stuff, and just like recognizing that why am I apologizing for sharing something that I'm so passionate about, or talking about something that just brings me happiness. So like recognizing that expressing how I feel or like expressing what I'm passionate about is not something to be sorry about. I also like read something. It was like when you apologize, you're in a way making yourself smaller for the people around you. Or like when you talk about your accomplishments or anything like that, you're like, I'm sorry, I'm like talking too much, or I'm like talking about this. Why are you saying sorry? For what reason? There's no reason. So it's like just trying to make yourself smaller. And I was like, okay, fuck this shit. No, I'm gonna talk about it. And if they don't want to hear it, then they can say that. Won't hurt my feelings.
I'm super thankful and honored that you were the guest. Like, you were literally one of the first people that I thought that I would want on this podcast, because I was just like, I want Zaira.
Thanks,
because you have such a creative flow and it radiates from you, and like I've always kind of thought of you like as, you know, an inspiration, like from what you've done at such a young age and what you've accomplished and what you're still working on and accomplishing.
You're making me blush. Oh my god, thank you.
But thank you so much for being on this episode. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes,
you'll be back. You'll be back.